Hello, I'm Charles Bennett, and this is an introduction to one of the songs in the song cycle Lightwaves, which I collaborated on with Bob Chilcott. And the song that I'm wanting to speak to you about in this short film is the song Leaf. Now, I may as well say at the outset that sometimes when you're writing poetry or writing texts, you can't help but like one of them or some of them. You just like them. I don't know, slightly more than the others, or you have an attachment to one, and it's hard to explain. But you become slightly fond of particular things that you've written. And in this song cycle, I suppose I have to say this is my personal favourite, without wanting to upset the others. So don't tell the other poems that I've mentioned this to you. Otherwise, they'll be very upset indeed, and they'll probably cry. But I like this one because there's something about it I think that appeals to me, and I say this not in an egotistical way at all. It's just that this material is something that I find particularly fascinating. So you'll have heard me say, with a bit of luck, if you've been watching the other films, you'll have heard me say that I'm thinking about these songs as planets. And I've also been thinking, therefore, about the scientific things, the realm of science that surrounds us. And I've also been bringing opposites together in this song cycle. Now, some people would think that the sciences and the arts themselves are opposites, but actually, I believe they can have a very fertile relationship indeed and really support each other. Well, one of the wondrous things about our planet, and again, in Telescope, you'll have heard me talk about wonder. One of the wondrous things on our planet is the way that the leaf of a plant can understand light. And it can understand the light and turn it into life-giving energy in a way that we, as it were, as mere humans, we can't do anything that clever. We like to think, don't we, that because there's a lot of us and because we're the dominant species, we're the best. But I do sometimes think that we've a long way to go and a lot to learn. Of course, we can't change our nature. We are mammals, and we can't become plants. But there is something really amazing, something in a way so simple and yet so powerful about the way that through chlorophyll, through a chemical interaction, actually, a plant can breathe in light and turn that light into life-giving energy. I find this a very profound thing. Um, and it means that plants, in many ways, with some interesting exceptions, plants largely are not carnivorous. Um, and therefore, in a way, also, they don't need to travel. They don't need to move in quite the same way that we do. They do grow, actually, they do expand, they do move, they do travel in a way. And again, there are some notable exceptions and particularly fascinating areas of seed dispersal. However, on the whole, there's something for me very peaceful about this relationship between the organism of the plant and the light that surrounds it, and the leaf as the medium, the way that conversation is had, the plant and the light connect through the membrane of the leaf. So I wanted to speak to that and to help us reimagine ourselves, to reinvigorate ourselves, perhaps, and to think about what it would be like if human beings had skin that could transform sunlight into energy. And this is a rather bizarre thought, but if we imagined ourselves as plants, if we had a really radical different relationship to sunlight, if sunlight gave us energy, and if we ate light, that would completely revolutionize life on the planet. So I'm going to read the poem now, and I'd like you to reflect in a way. Next time you see a plant, a so-called weed. Next time you see something just growing, it might not be. It's not very dramatic necessarily. It might not even have fabulous flowers that fascinate us. But the simplest plant is doing something that no human being can do. And that to me is something actually really amazing. So this is Leaf, and as with some of the other songs in this song cycle, you'll see that the chorus is spoken by the leaf, but the verses have a different voice to them entirely. And the voices of the verses, as it were, that voice, I think, again, as with one or two of the other songs, that's me speaking, really. I don't think we need to be mysterious about that. I think that's me just being reflective and contemplative. So the chorus goes like this: I am a leaf, I last a year, open in spring, drop like a tear. My days are short, they come and go. I feed on light so a tree may grow. So you'll see here that I'm thinking about deciduous trees, trees that shed their leaves in winter. Um, so forgive me, conifers, you're amazing, but I'm just thinking about uh, deciduous trees here. Sometimes I wish our skin could understand the light the way a tree does, the way a tree does. The light would be our food, and every nation on earth would be a forest, would be a forest. Perhaps we'd be wiser at last, discovering all we need is rain and sun, rain and sun. We'd breathe the earth clean as we turned illumination into enlightenment, into enlightenment. Each year we'd love our leaves, slowly growing older by letting them go, letting them go. Thank you very much indeed.